Hold the line, and we are live. OTNG Season 2, Episode 6. We have Peter, Mills, and Ethan
Yay!
at grandmother's house.
Yep.
And we were just kicking off with a recap about what our heroes had been up to since the last session, how they made their level progressions. Peter and Ethan had sent over short, like one-page details about that, and Nils is about to regale us with his tale. Thanks, Nils.
Right. So, 808, being his original skills being a laborer and informant, has been working for the guild, kind of just as a hired out manual labor, and he has been, providing the guild with information, eyes on the ground kind of thing. But in his contact, he's also met other clockworks, and they've introduced him. And this was something that came from the artificer profession. They introduced him to a new heretical sect of a rumored clockwork god called the Cog God that he has started to look into and becoming an adherent of because of his whole journey of self-discovery and what is he really, if he does does he have a how, because he was manufactured, how is he different from humans and that kind of thing. And as part of one of his artificer skills is to either take a language or a area of profession, and I just realized one of the languages is a secret language. So he's going to take a language of binary, which so he can communicate solely in secret with other clockworks, either by like flashing lights or modem tones.
That's fun.
That's great.
So, and then Gideon, he's going to go into the cleric. And actually, one of the other files that I hadn't really looked at was that is part of the bundle was, I think it was called Uncertain Faith, and they talk a lot about, it goes through all the different faiths in the world, of which in the New God they have basically different sects. And so like there's like a Templar sect and an Inquisitor sect and that kind of thing. And so he's going to spend his time, he had this initial rush of faith to go out and discover on this quest. And now that he's started to become more settled and go into a place where that's going to have at least some sort of adherence to the new God with an organized, if secret church, because of the old gods being worshipped so strongly in the crossings, he's going to dedicate to himself to one of these sects. And as of yet, I've not decided which one yet, but that's what he's going to be doing, and that's how his advancement is coming from, being indoctrinated into this new group within the New God Church.
The cult of the Cog, is that right?
No, 808 is going into the cult, the Cog God cult. Gideon is going into a subsect within the New God Church.
Oh, so you're going deeper.
Yeah, and basically being dedicated to one specific job in the church, and that's how he's kind of getting his advancement from, specializing, I guess.
What is that one particular job?
There are about 7 different sects that I haven't decided which one yet.
Dream.
So maybe they're looking you over.
Yeah.
Ethan, you might mute your mic if you're not speaking. I think it's Control-D or Alt-D for the Google Hangout. Thank you. We'll just drop a little bit of that background noise. I think it'll help our sanity. No, Mom, I did the dishes. Okay.
So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
All right. Fortune point for 808 and not yet for Gideon, only because you haven't gone deep enough yet.
Right, okay.
You're still trying to find here in the crossings, who are those new believers? Who can you trust and who can't you? And you're not really yet prepared to make those risks.
Right.
Does that seem accurate?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's how I read the situation.
Peter, let me briefly skim yours because I missed them on the 23rd.
Oh, no worries. It's been a busy week. Luckily, I think it's just 2 paragraphs.
Why don't I read them for the benefit of everyone?
Very
I
good.
think I'm wondering to
Read out
myself
loud
here.
to the class.
Ever since the massacre at the farm, there have been more and more reports of these invaders, and Madam Gates has called on Opie numerous times to lead teams to outlying farms. Sometimes they are reinforcing, sometimes escorting supplies and survivors, sometimes seeking revenge for the dead. Many a road are now lined with the ebony or skinless heads on pikes. When things get bad, bad things have to be done by good people. The skills of going unnoticed were quickly adapted, and Opie learned how to move and wait as the enemy passed by, oblivious to his presence, only be taken down in ambush. The bow was both more lethal and flexible than the sling, and quickly became his weapon of choice, though his saber is to be respected. While Ichabod, struggling with a long-running sense of helplessness, began looking for ways to improve his lethality. He joined 808 in the abandoned clockwork factory, looking for tools and techniques with which to refine his weapons. Several pieces in the foundry were infused with fire magic, and working the steel of his blades on them demonstrated his natural affinity for the tradition, which, in turn, led him to fusing a weapon with such. None of this was apparent until he began lighting candles with a thought which even 808 found odd, but then he found much of the human behavior odd. At least Ichabod was always seemed alert to the machine man's need for regular rewinding. That's very well done, thank you.
You're welcome. And I decided to go with the less possibly useful, but more narratively fun power of flame control, as opposed to, I think firebolt was the other.
Right.
And I just like the idea of being able to extinguish or light a flame or move a flame or whatever. It just seems more entertaining.
Right. I like that too. So which characters will you gentlemen bring tonight?
I'm going to bring Gideon because it seems like he needs to have some sort of journey to discover his calling.
Okay.
How about you, Ethan? Well, I'm kind of torn because, Opie can move about unseen, but I used Opie last time, and Ichabod's a heavy hitter right now, so I'm really thinking about Ichabod.
Okay. Ethan, you might still be on mute. In fact, I know you're on mute. Possibly away from your keyboard.
He might
Clap
have been
twice if you can hear us, Ethan.
There we go.
I think he's been taken by the Shadow Lord.
I'll be playing Morgan. I played Will last time I was here. So
great. I like it. So we've got Morgan, Ichabod, and Gideon. See if I can't remember all of that. I'll be calling you by your last characters' names, last session's characters' names.
I had both there last session, so it's good.
Did you? I guess you did.
Yeah, because there were 2 of us.
That's right. Who was missing last? Was it Ethan was missing last
Ethan,
weekend?
yeah.
Did you catch up on the recording, Ethan?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So no need to recap you on anything that's happened, right?
Nope. I'm good.
Any questions about what happened through all of that? You're good.
I don't think so. I'm pretty good.
Good. Glad to hear it. Well, that
So-
one tool serves one useful purpose.
I would like to, since I didn't last time, equip Gideon with some mail.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure what our normal or how we're doing party expenses at this point.
Do you have any money recorded on your character sheet?
Yeah, we all got some treasure.
Yeah, but how much did we get?
I think we said 33 per player.
Yep.
33 what?
Silver.
Silver. Okay.
That's good money.
So per player is okay. Yeah. Good enough.
16.5 per. Yeah. So Opie didn't need as much. So Opie spent less, and Ichabod spent a little more.
Right. So however you want to split it between your characters is fine, Nils.
Yep, that's fine.
Are you in need of a loan, or do you have enough?
Okay. I've got enough. I just wasn't sure I didn't record anything.
How much is mail costing you?
1 gold.
The
10 silver.
Yeah. So that's plenty. I've got plenty for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I stopped at hardened leather.
Sorry, I'm just pulling up my rules and my notes for tonight's session. Ichabod, Morgan, and Gideon all walked into a bar.
Ouch!
Who put this bar here?
Which reminds me, I just picked up, I think it was just the other day, picked up Stanley's Christmas card. I got to send off to him, but it's got a little pinball Pacheco kind of thing, because I think he needs a game.
Oh, nice.
So I have to get that in the mail tomorrow.
Nice.
It was an excellent idea, Nils.
Well, I was already doing my own Christmas cards and was writing one from him anyway, so I thought I'd make the suggestion. Hopefully everybody got their Christmas cards.
Yes,
I did. Thank you. Your Christmas cards are my favorite. My favorite Christmas delivery.
They're always Cthulhu.
No, nothing quite beat the King in Yellow last year. I think that was pretty amazing.
Well, for the first 2 years, I was trying to actually be tricky and give each person a different card so that if you ever compared, they wouldn't be the same. And this year, that was just too complicated. So
that is way too complicated. I don't even send cards at all. So
problem solved.
Yep. So one of the things in discussing, I remember about armor was that there was some that was agility based and some wasn't. And I'm not seeing that kind of information in the equipment.
Well, it's strength based.
Right. So I've got enough strength for mail, and it says a defense of 15. So that's just
right,
I get 15.
Some of the mail will affect. What page are you on?
Oh, I see. I got it. Now I see it. Never mind.
Yeah.
What page is it? I'll look at it with you.
It's on page 101.
Some of the mail causes an agility shift, or
right. Yeah. The lower the clothing, soft leather, and hard leather.
Yeah.
Give an agility shift, and all the mail above that is just a straight number.
Right.
Got it. Okay, that's what I needed.
Yeah, medium armor like mail and scale both require a strength of 13.
Yep, and I just used one of my ability bumps to get to that point.
There. Okay.
Yeah.
And then that mail will give you a defense of 15.
Yep, got that.
I preferred my 24.
Yeah, I think that was pretty awesome about how you got there.
Yeah, it's not DCC.
Purely through my own technological ineptitude. No cheating at all.
Okay, well, when we had ended our last session and you had returned to the crossings, 2 crossings. There ought to be 2 bridges across that river for 2 crossings. when you return to Crossings, things that were rapidly going from bad to worse. When you were at Last Hope, the village, which had sort of been your community in these post-war years, rapidly fell apart with the death of the sheriff, of the constable.
Mm-hmm.
You fled the ghost town of Last Hope for Crossings, and on your way you saw many, many other refugees all converging on this last bastion of civilization in these wild or rapidly wild and unruly lands. At Crossings, you had made the acquaintance of Councilman Dreen, thanks to Ichabod, had attempted to rescue his daughter, who was brazenly sacrificed herself for the emergence of some strange demonic beast, which has been terrorizing the city in small pockets here and there. Opie had then fallen under the sway of Madam Gates of the Guild. And Madam Gates set you on an errand to take an old pig farmer, to address an old pig farmer's complaint. Farmer Haim, and at his hamlet, you discovered
Haim's Ham Hamlet.
Haim's Ham Hamlet, 3H.
Good.
Skin thieves and ebony men riding great beasts, prowling the woods, where you rescued a woman who is at her wit's end, quite literally and figuratively. You had come upon a map to an old abandoned shrine, though you chose not to investigate it, preferring
Good
to
thing.
return yourselves to Crossings, escorting this woman back to safety.
Yeah, and she'd indicated she and her friends had gone to the shrine and released skin thieves.
Absolutely. That's absolutely the story that you best worked out of her. That her and her friends were treasure seekers, fortune hunters, treasure hunters and fortune seekers. And they went to this ancient place, and when they broke the seals upon the ruined building, skin thieves were released. Let's see. And now the entire countryside, those areas surrounding the Crossings, have other hamlets, little villages, farming communities are being raided, pillaged, overrun, and burned to the ground. And this has gone on for the past few weeks, and occasionally the Council of the Crossings will send out militia parties, but they're always too late or never enough, and a few of them hadn't returned. So the city council decided to buckle down behind the city walls with the river at your backs and ride out the coming famine.
Oh boy.
Relying on the fisheries at the river, but those are now also showing signs of pollution and toxins. And now the most horrible news of all, the dead are walking and roving the streets. There's some plague that's befallen the city, as if imminent famine weren't enough. And here in the purse, that rich and noble district has been quarantined.
Uh-oh.
Seems the plague emanated here first. And the brown cloaks, in an effort to spare the rest of the city's population, has barricaded that little peninsula there in the northwest and will let none enter nor leave under the pain of death. The little outcroppings of this plague are springing up all over the city. And it's always the same. People succumb to a harsh fever, shivering chills, and collapse in a fit of coughing, only to perish 24 to 48 hours later. And if those corpses aren't burned immediately, they will rise.
Hmm.
And there have been hasty barricades erected around the purse to keep back the dead that are clawing and scratching and biting their way to be free. So that is the recap and opening for our scene tonight, our opening scene tonight. I will ask, what will you do, Gideon?
Well, since my initial encounter with these horrible undead back at Lost Hope, that has been the focus of my clerical and spell research, and so I am certainly interested in going and putting down these roving plague monsters.
Okay. I will ask you, Morgan, what will you do? You've heard Gideon proselytizing about how the dead should not walk.
And now he wants to help her get back into her.
Morgan is going to. She's intrigued by this plague in that it doesn't seem to be normal in nature, considering that the dead are rising as a result of it. And so she sees this as some sort of perverted or perversion of nature's course. And she sees it as her duty is to use magic responsibly and to bring nature back into balance.
Okay.
And so is going to join Gideon in figuring out the heart of the issue and finding a way to solve it.
Perfect.
And why is your dad not playing if he's sitting right next to you?
I spent all day trying to.
He's got better things to do at this time.
Well, like visit with his parents? Come on.
Okay. Ichabod, you've seen the strain that's befalling Dreen, your friend, possibly, certainly an associate,
and someone I respect,
a respected associate. And you've seen the strain that these times have placed on not only on Dreen but the entire council. And I will ask you, Ichabod, what will you do?
I've put myself at the council's service, but and I've got I'm ready to ensorcel my blade to do extra damage. But if we have to clean this area out, we may have to do that. I don't know if this has been discussed. I don't like the idea of going in there. Can we just stand on the wall and shoot them from above?
You have some of the militiamen, some of the gold cloaks have thought that would be the answer. to wait for the dead to come to the barricades and just strike them down.
Mm-hmm.
But they're surprisingly resilient. You know, they can be peppered with arrows and still be
A threat.
walking amongst us, a threat to everyone. There's been some talk about burning that district to the ground, but as you know, fire in any ancient city is
Very hard to control.
extremely hard to control. There have been rumors, not rumors, you do, based on your close affinity to the council, Ichabod, you do know that a witch hunter was sent into the purse before the dead walked amongst you. He was seeking out a black cabal dedicated and pledged themselves to the demon lord, and this Inquisitor Rudolfo was intent on scouring this scourge from the crossings itself. But perhaps, but that was some days before the dead began to walk, and the dead have only been walking amongst you now for the past 3 days.
And they're restricted to the purse.
Yeah, they're restricted to this area. I will mark it out on the map.
Somebody up there did something.
This obviously comes from the worship of the old gods.
This obviously comes from the worship of gold.
Same thing.
Yes, it's this area here that's been outlined in red.
Mm-hmm. So does the council have any ideas? Do they look for volunteers to do something nasty, or?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, you know, the council, there are no men nor girls like the rest of you. You have begun to establish a reputation amongst the townsfolk. Many of them look on you as potential saviors in these dark times, to lead their armies to battles, but what armies? There are none. To stand against the foe, but which one? There seem to be many abounding. So it's as if you were a tool
Heroes.
without a purpose.
Yeah, heroes without a cause.
Right.
But I've got a nice book here. It's a big, thick book, and I still have no cause.
I'll be right with you. Hold on.
Ooh. I just found a package that I had set aside and forgot about. And it's a new bottle of brown.
So there is actually a there has been a suggestion of sending you gentlemen into the purse to find Rodolfo and discover what he had discovered in this place, because obviously he must have found something. Perhaps there's a way to end this scourge.
Or he set it off.
Or if he did, to learn how and what set it off, and if there's any hope for the crossings, or if the community at large should take to the river and sail for the coast, which is some days' journey. 2 weeks' journey by boat to the coast. I'm here at the River of the Dark Waters. and it would be quite a flotilla, sure to draw the attention of many
Brigands.
new god barons might wish to imprison our people, enslave our and sorcel our people.
Man, remember the good old days when people were nice to each other?
Before religion.
Yeah.
So so you do have some choices. I will remind you that there's the ruin that you haven't explored back at in the woods outside the hamlet,
Mm-hmm.
where the countryside is crawling with skin thieves and ebony men. You could enter the purse and try to discover or try to locate Rudolfo and learn what he learned, and perhaps assist him if there were any way to do so, or approach this problem in another way.
I'm kind of loath to go to that temple, though. I have a sneaking suspicion it might offer us some information we don't have. But
You're loath to go?
I'm loath. Yeah,
Sounds
I'm
like you
loath.
want to go.
No, I'm loath to leave the city and go back out there
Oh,
with the skin
yeah.
changers and the ebony men. But I don't like the idea of zombies
Also,
any better. But it sounds like two of our team are very much drawn to the idea of dealing with zombies.
well, it also seems a lot more urgent.
Certainly, it's right here. Well, I lean towards looking for Rodolfo, even though zombies give me the willies.
Okay.
We've not heard from Ethan, though he may be talking to us on his muted
No, I
mic.
was
You can always chat to us too if you like in the
that's true.
to add your contributions to the discussion as it's ongoing, or even unmute and pipe in. We're happy to have your contribution. Sounds like
So
things are settling down over there in any case.
Yeah, they are.
Your dad's finally behaving himself. That's good.
So good.
So I'm thinking, I'm definitely intrigued with the prospect of going back out to the ruins purely, and if only in that direction, to actually investigate the location where these skin eaters have come from,
Mm-hmm.
and potentially in hopes of potentially finding a way to drive them back into where they came from, or potentially there's some sort of weapon or device that actually trapped them here and can trap them again. But I think I also agree that it's not as pressing of an issue as a town full of zombies.
Right. The plague that's trying to boil its way to the surface.
Right. I think we need to deal with the plague first, and then we go out and try and harangue all these people back, or these creatures back.
If this were GW, I'd be blaming Skaven.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. So it's into the purse you go, is it? Says Dean. Those poor wretches trapped there. The elite of our community once. I moved my family from that cesspool years ago, but many remained content to live in their noble peninsula, looking down over the rest of the city and lording it over and all. I'm half inclined to let those bastards suffer.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. I'm hard pressed to disagree with you on that.
But there are innocents, I'm sure, few and far between, and we will need every man, woman, and child to stand the walls should it come to a siege. How will you do this, Ichabod? How will you and your companions enter the purse? Will you just simply climb the barricades, or will you find another way?
I don't want to climb the barricades. Anybody have any ideas? I don't think we can get into the sewer. Do you?
I was going to say sewers, personally.
Yeah, I know.
So you want to find your way? Go ahead,
So
Gideon.
I will draw upon the knowledge of my new god brethren, since obviously they know the ins and outs and secrets passageways of the city because they are hunted, unrightly so, and see if they know of another way to get into the purse, other than over the wall or the sewers.
They know how to get into the purse, and they're hunted because they are vile and despicable.
The new gods,
Yes.
but they were drawn by Jack Kirby.
We had this conversation.
Yes,
We talked about this already.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, sure. Why don't you give me a challenge roll? Let's see. Let's have a look at the character sheet and see what makes the most sense.
Intellect or will, I would think.
Yes, let's go with intellect with one bane, because these men and few women are difficult to seek out. You haven't fully, while you have let slip your allegiance to the new gods, they're not, they're still
right
holding you at arm's length, probably very far, because you're not willing to come amongst them.
To stand up and be counted.
Yes, exactly.
You hanging out with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even believe in anything anymore.
Right. So there are two clear ways into the city, into this district of the purse, through the sewers, or through the or over the barricades.
But the
city walls are quite high, quite tall, and would be challenging to scale from the exterior, certainly.
But the watch isn't letting anybody out through the barricades. So we don't want to come back that way.
Right. If you go in, Dreen says he's not sure he can guarantee you can come out. I mean, this is a quarantine zone. There is a plague. There is a disease. You may be contaminated. How will we know?
I agree. Oh, I don't like that. I don't want to be a zombie.
I don't think anybody does. Ouch.
You never know. I have some of my students I think might be happy with it.
On the bright side, our clockwork friend can't really become a zombie now, can he?
Oh, interesting.
No, but he's not with us.
Yeah, you don't know. That's that's a good question for his cog god.
Am I a man or aren't I?
I just see it being one of those Futurama robot churches.
Well, it sounds like we're gonna have to go in through the sewer and then figure out what we can do to get out.
Well, hopefully get out the same way we got in.
Right.
Okay.
Because if we cross the barricades, they'll know who we are, and even if we snuck out again, when they saw us in the streets, they'd kill us. So I think the fewer who know that we're going in and out of here, the better. Now, next question.
Interesting. Okay.
The next question for the councilman was there any information that Ronaldo had? Was there any place he was starting or any individual he was, like, a specific address he was trying to get to?
Okay, good point. Let me...
Because even though it's a small part of the city, it's a big district for 3 people to search while dodging zombies.
Right.
Now, I'm really glad we don't have any firearms, by the way.
Do you remember that damn Furt boy?
Yeah. Fucker.
Well, It was the Furt household, those damnable aristocrats, that ancient family.
Fuck. Should have killed him.
There was an explosion at their house some 3 days ago, and that's what drew Rodolfo's attention. And he went to their home, and as he departed, that next dawn, dead were walking in our streets.
That family is a mess.
And I saw Rodolfo and his men enter the Furt household, but they have not yet returned, nor did anyone see them emerge. It was as if that whole house had been removed from the hillside where it was perched, a smoking ruin after that explosion.
Oh, man.
Did it explode to another plane?
Does sound like that's where we need to head off to.
Yeah, the crater. But what are we going to find there? I don't know.
The chasm.
So you're going, I think if I heard you correctly, your plan was to make your way into the purse under sworn secrecy from Councilman Dreen, so that none of the other councilmen nor townsfolk would be aware of your expedition.
Yeah, I don't think it's let us back in. I'm just guessing, but I have a bad feeling it wouldn't work out well for us.
Right.
Back.
So these are twisting, winding, foul labyrinths beneath the city. And Dreen can show you a porthole into the sewers near the purse, but he can't guarantee that it will actually lead you there.
Right.
It's about noon now.
Damn it. We should have brought Opie.
It's about noon now, and it will be a series of challenges as you make your way into the sewers. As you make your way into the sewers to find your way into the purse proper.
So, roughly, where is the Freed's house?
The Furts, or the crater.
Is it basically that one at the very tip where 19 shows a house that's been blown to bits?
Sure. Mark it out on the map. I'm not looking at the map right now, but that's
Maybe it's not blown to bits. It just I guess it's just the roof is dark. But I was thinking,
looks a little blown up. Okay, any special preparations or any special way that you're going to approach this that I should know about, or should I just present you with your first challenge?
Well, I think obviously we're doing things like bringing some torches and lanterns and a bit of rope.
Okay.
Probably extra oil for more than just light, like for
lighting zombies.
Like for burning?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like for burning.
Burning.
Well, it's a good thing to have a bunch of, burning spells.
I'm not sure what the lore of zombies in this world is, but any things that would seem to be extra effective against them, whether it's fire or stakes or lamb's blood or I don't know what, we will try to gather together.
Yeah. So you've never. Well, let's see.
They're not common in this world.
They're not. You've not heard of the dead right walking.
Right.
No, this
okay.
is a startling occurrence in Gideon's mind. But let's see if you can give me an intellect challenge, Gideon, with one bane because of your new god allegiance, to see if you can't suss out some sort of information from the militia and the brown cloaks that have been guarding the barricades about what seems to be ineffective against these walking beasts. That looks successful.
Yes.
Just checking my notes.
I'm trying to bring a little extra oil too, because I can throw it and light it on fire once it's hit.
Yeah,
That's kind of what I was
idea.
alluding to.
Okay. Shall we say each of you are bringing each of you can bring a number of flasks of oil. They will cost you 1 silver apiece. So
okay.
as you wish to spend your treasure on such a thing, do so and note it on your character sheet.
I will let the party know. Morgan has the light spell.
Okay.
So if we want to save oil for torches, she can cast light to potentially give us light.
Oh, good.
Well,
which will light up an object for 1 hour.
okay, so sounds like you've solved the light problem with Morgan's magic, possibly.
Back on my Wi-Fi.
All right, Gideon, let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, try calling it up again.
Roll a d7 for me. Roll. So you're pretty successful. Roll 3 d7 for me, and I'll tell you what you've learned about these walking dead men.
Basically, you don't want to mess with them.
2, 3, 4.
3, 2, and a 4.
Okay.
So you have learned that, as we said, that these walking corpses were much more resilient than a normal man, peppered with arrows, and they still continued to move on. Though a lucky headshot with a club or a well-placed arrow can drop them in a single blow. But they also prefer they bite out at their foes, grabbing them up in their arms and sinking their teeth into them. And then finally, they carry a black disease. A few of those militiamen had been bitten before the barricades had been fully erected. And they too rose up. They too suffered the plague from this single bite, and then rose up to walk amongst their fellows.
Okay.
So there is one man that survived it. Such a bite.
Oh.
What made him different?
Hammerstead, have you seen the man? He's like a giant among us.
So it's just that he's a big, resilient guy.
Maybe.
It's not like,
Doesn't bode well for Morgan.
what I mean is, it's not. He didn't receive. What? What was that?
That was my soda bottle exploding that Grace gave me and obviously shook up.
Here, Dad,
Before
I
she
love
gave it.
you.
I thought Aaron was
Dearest father.
shushing us.
Dearest father, would you please turn on the internet? Enjoy the soda.
Obviously, you've taken too long to turn it on before, so haha.
Yeah, well, you knew the odds.
Love it.
Well, I got 3 different headphones for Christmas, and
Great.
I'm not sharing any of them with Grace, and so she's incredibly put out
Is she?
because, well, she is so obsessed with her music that she has to have headphones on all day, all the time, and the dog keeps eating them.
What kind of
So-
headphones? Oh, keep your headphones away from the dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we'll quit buying those bacon headphones.
I'll sure to tell her that.
So this is what you've learned about the dead that walk amongst you.
We haven't learned like what to avoid, like maybe they sense motion or noise or.
No, that's about all the information that even the militia knows about them.
Sure. Well, it makes sense. They don't know anything either.
Yeah, I mean they've sort of kept them at arm's length, as it were, right?
My advice is don't mess with them. Next question.
Exactly. Boom. I'm just fiddling with maps here, so what will you gentlemen do?
Try to get through the sewer into the purse.
Okay. So Dreen leads you to the portal into the that he knows the guard's not watching closely. It's near the barricade, and he's pretty sure it should lead you into the purse. It's like a kind of a manhole kind of affair.
It's a teeny tiny tool.
Everybody can hear you because I got these nifty headphones on.
Hi, Erica.
Hi, Erica.
Merry Christmas.
It's a teeny tiny tool. I
Does it
don't want
work?
to judge, Nils. It's not that it's a teeny tiny tool. It's just that Nils is really, really tall. So everything looks small.
It's
in
all
here.
perspective.
That's it.
All right. Who is leading the way? Do you carry any specific marching order? Are you using Morgan's spell to light your way?
I should really have brought Opie.
Sounds like you're in charge of this expedition, Ichabod.
Sorry, I'm back.
Okay.
Crap. We're trying to figure out who's leading the way, and I really should have brought Opie, is what I said. And Aaron said, it sounds like you're in charge of this expedition. And then I thought, well, we're in some real pretty shit now, man.
Why don't you just put her in charge looking at Morgan?
You get me. You get me.
Oh, well, tonight's map is
Brought to you by the letter K.
by the letter F, because I fucked it up, but I don't want to fix it. So you'll see my keying on the map. My apologies in advance.
All about time.
So, Nils, Ethan,
Not really.
Peter, what I'm looking for is any specific
They're just
marching orders,
Gotcha. Well, Morgan.
navigating strategies, other special ways that you're going to approach your descent into The sewers?
God, I wish Opie was not out
Gallivanting around.
right running another team because he's got some great skills for this. But
Morgan should obviously be in the middle.
I would just say that's the clear one. Morgan should be in the middle.
And I'm sorry, which kind of character do you have, Peter?
Ichabod is a fighter, and he's got a decent armor class. He's got a a long knife. No, I got rid of the long knife, didn't I?
You may still have it on your person unless you've thrown it away.
I'm gonna try and sell them anyway. Well, I have a it just says sword, so I assume it's a generic sword, but I can tweak it up with a bit of a fire spell so it does extra damage. Anybody's, but I'm a pretty decent fighter in answer to your question.
Okay. Well, I'm happy, given my strong burning interest in clearing these unholy dead. I'm happy to take the lead.
Can you take the lead? I'll follow up, and then we can swap out if we have to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that sounds good. Gideon, since you're leading, give me an intellect challenge with 2 banes.
Damn it! What?
To see if you can make your way from this manhole.
Why is it always intellect?
Well, you could lobby for something else. You could also lobby for one of your skills or professions to take
there you
away
go.
some of those banes.
That's a good point. I am in one of my previous professions was a wilderness tracker. So obviously this is very similar.
Absolutely.
And it just a different. It's basically like an underground swamp. So I should be able to
you can drop one of those banes. Have you got anything else that might your DM?
I'm a fanatic, so I'm really fanatic about tracking.
Oh, now you got 3 boons.
You do make your way into the purse, and you've come to. You can see the next ladder, the next porthole, the next manhole cover before you, some 30 yards away. But sloshing, coming directly towards you in the darkness, you can hear the shuffling of many feet, slowly shuffling, splashing through the filth and the muck and the mire of the sewers.
So I'm assuming you mean lots of feet and not small feet.
Many feet. What did I say?
Many. You said many feet, so M-A-N-Y, not M-E-I-N-I.
Not many.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
I can hope.
Welcome. Took me a while to find out where that's at.
So, but we can't see them yet. Is that what you're saying?
All right, you can hear them.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome.
So you could try to find another way.
Thank you for
You could press on and perhaps encounter these.
Well, early on, I would prefer to find another way, just because I would not like to have a big fight like this so early in the expedition. Oh, good.
Okay.
Sorry, I was priming an army.
Is it primed?
They are now fully primed. Had to get the touch.
So we are approaching. We've gone into the sewers. We are hearing lots of feet shuffling around off in the darkness, and we are discussing fighting or finding another direction. And I was suggesting fight.
Well, if you continue on to the manhole cover, you're certainly there's certainly, you feel certain you'll encounter them.
Mhm.
No, that
But-
won't be good.
But if we don't continue on, then there's a chance we're not going to be able to find that. We're not going to get to another entrance, because this is where we know that there is some way, a way to get in, right?
Right.
Okay. So it sounds like in that case, we probably do need to continue on and plan to encounter them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you make your way up to the ladder there, and at the edge of your light, and it's the light that seems to be drawing them on, you can see, what do you see? You see 4 men shuffling, with their heads thrown low, groaning to themselves, pawing at their brows. Very, very nearby. It's as if they can sense your presence, but they're as if they're trapped in a stupor, some sort of torpor.
Mm-hmm.
You're 5 feet from the ladder, and they're 15 feet from that. What will you do, Ichabod? You lead this band.
I'm bringing up the rear.
Oh, pardon me, Gideon.
But I do have a question.
Other hero's name that I've not fully remembered for tonight's session.
You have a question?
I have a quick question about how spells work.
Okay.
I only have one spell, have the control flame, but my thing as a spellbinder is my spellbound weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And do I have to have done that before we go on the adventure? Do I have to say I'm prepping that ahead of time, or can I just grab the hilt and it's lit for the next 4 hours?
Right.
And say flame on.
It takes an action to cast it, I believe.
No problem. But it just happens. I don't have to make a roll or anything.
It just happens. It might require one of your slots.
I assume that.
Based on your power.
Yeah.
To cast the spell. I don't know how many slots you have or what level
I
it
have
is.
2 level 0 and 1 level 1, I believe, and both my level 0s are taken because the spellbinder utility is a 0.
Well, so what it does, so how it works is you have a certain number of castings of a spell per day based on your power level.
Mm.
So what? I don't know what I think your power level is 1 right now.
Yeah.
So you can cast each level 0 spell can be cast twice a day, and your level 1 spells can be cast once a day.
Oh, good.
I just by clarification, I think what you mean to say, Ethan, is that you can cast 2 level 0 spells and 1 level 1 spell, correct?
No, actually.
All right, let me look.
Because I mean, especially that's because how the
I can cast 0 level 1 spell because I don't have a level 1 spell.
Correct.
Right. So
but if you did, you could.
Right.
If you look at how the spells are set up in the character sheets, that's actually how it is as well. But yeah, the rules it was a little funky at first.
Sure. Let me just take a quick look, because they might be doing something different than what we're used to in terms of.
Right, and I'm not sure how to put it on the character sheet.
You got a page number for me, Ethan?
I do 111 and 112. Yeah,
I just like the title Spellbinder. I'm a spellbinder.
Casting a spell.
Yeah, so
Speak, wield, and gesture. Use an action, expend the castings. You have a limited number of casting for each spell you learn.
Mm-hmm.
Power determines the number of castings you have for each spell by rank, as shown in the casting. For example, if you have power 2, you're able to cast 2 rank 0 spells. Let's see, what are they saying? Power 2. If you have power 2 and no 2 rank 0 spells, 1 rank 1, 1 rank 2, you have 3 castings of each rank 0, 2 castings of the rank 1, and 1 casting of the rank 2. Okay, great. Thank you for clarifying that, Ethan. So they are doing it a little.
Yeah.
They are doing it a little bit differently. So your power level dictates the number of times you can cast each spell by rank.
Yeah.
So in your case, Peter, you have 2 level 0 spells. And each of those level 0 spells you can cast twice.
Excellent. Yes. So
And
basically,
in order to cast a spell, you must be able to speak the words, wield the implements, or gesticulate. Gesticulate.
yeah, I
use
figure,
an action, and be able to expend a casting. So all 4 of those things then allows you to cast the spell, right?
Yep.
then since it's basically charging up my weapon, I figure it's like like the old samurai in Seven Samurai, the guy who was very deliberate in all his movements, and you stay in the pose and you say "flame on," and you pull the sword out very deliberately, and that lights it.
Exactly.
Okay. So I don't have to have it done before the adventure. So all that was just for that question. Thank you for your patience.
Sorry to beat that simple question to death.
No, it's fine because it's actually complex in how magic is done. So that explains
right. I think,
a lot.
and then I think if we establish that baseline, then it's helpful.
And the die roll, I was just testing out, my sword entry, and then I have to enter 1 boon. If I have that, I enter it separately.
Oh, if you have the fire bit going.
Right, because I already have 1 boon for being a warrior of the level I'm at, but then the ensorcelled weapon gives me another boon.
Right. So you could certainly enter another one, or you could even just update the stat line and add to the description with fire, when imbued with fire, right?
Right.
And lots of ways to skin the cat, but whatever works for you.
So these things do not appear to be advancing on us. They seem to be
They are moving towards you. You do know that they like the taste of flesh. If they can catch you, they will try to bite you, and then you may become one of them. One of us.
That's one reason I have a great big shield, by the way.
So, gentlemen, what will you do? I think, Gideon, you're leading this band.
Yes. I will quickly look at my spells and okay. So I will basically quickly move past the ladder. So I'm like maybe 2 or 3 feet past the ladder, so Morgan can get up there, or Ichabod wants to get up first.
Okay.
And I will cast a spell called Cincher as my second action.
Okay.
It's a class 1 attack action. Each demon, devil, fairy, spirit, and undead in the area must make a will check challenge roll. On a failure, it will become frightened for 1 minute, and the area is a 5-yard radius sphere.
Okay, so when they sort of they have to get pretty close to you for it to have an effect.
Well, 15 feet, and you said that there are already 15 feet.
A 5-yard sphere?
Yeah.
Oh, 5 yard.
5-yard radius.
Yeah, 5 yard. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, sure. Well, before we try to draw a battle map or do any battle sketch or any of that stuff,
we'll put Ethan on mute again.
We'll put Ethan on mute, and then we will go ahead and make your casting. Do you have to make an intellect check or will check or anything to do it?
It doesn't say so, but then each
of these guys makes a will check. So let me do that. Let me check.
Each of them fails the will check.
Correct. But we meet in the middle. Let's see. Yeah, right. The first one passes. It passes through the light that's being radiated from Gideon. And they're slowing its slow march. The second cowers
Cowering's good.
Third. Presses on.
No
On
pressing.
the fourth. Almost lurches and tries to jump and leap toward Gideon. Okay, so now quite clearly we're into a combat. We'll draw a very simple sketch. And I will move you to that position.
I feel moved already.
I do like these like simple scratch pads for the maps. I think that's working pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Really not that different than using a the dry erase pad.
Right. Let's see, what am I trying to do? Be on the right.
I don't know many people who go to town doing real great work at art on those, though Drew Williams does. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look at it and you think, God, I hope nobody spills anything on that. He's got the whole castle from Keeping the Borderlands drawn out on one of those.
Drew
Williams, the sculptor.
Oh, the sculptor.
Yeah.
Huh.
I played in his D&D campaign for a while.
Oh, fun. When you were living in the city, or he's in the
No,
city, right?
yeah, he's in the city, but I was going back and visiting during the summer. I can do it, but
Gotcha.
because it's Sunday nights, but during the school year, no.
See, here's the portal, and then off of the portal, the manhole cover above, we have a couple of passageways.
That's way too many teethy things.
Oh, those are from the last fight.
Oh, good. I just want to say it's really disconcerting when the whole countryside's going to hell and we can't even find comfort in our own walled city because we got freaking zombies running around.
And it's just these two passages, and I guess we'll use the teethy ones for the Walking Dead, for the zombies.
Just because you know how much I hate them.
The teethy ones?
They're creepy.
They are kind of creepy, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
But we need more of them.
No, we need the far, far fewer.
One's cowering. Oops. It's cowering back here. The other two have like pressed on. I guess we could have done this theater of the mind from what I'm thinking right now. Here's the ladder.
That was a good plan, Nils. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Just Aaron and his damn rolling.
Stop that.
I just hope he got it out of his system early on. That's all I have to say about that.
Get it out of the way. All right, let's see. Here's the ladder.
By the way, what are you painting, Nils, while he's drawing?
I am painting a Hydra Miniatures robot.
Oh, fun.
Let's see. We need Ichabod on this map. I see Morgan. I see Gideon.
It's probably a lot safer if he isn't, but you know.
I'm just going to go to your character sheet.
Oh yeah, we're
Grab you out. All right, it's something like that. That's sort of what I've got, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can we do? Oh, I can't move anything.
Oh, pardon me.
I have no permission.
Now you do.
I was thinking if we can move. No, I can move me. If you can move a little left, I can come up and we can try and slow these things down.
Sure. So before we get too far into that, let's go ahead and do our turns, right? Our fast, or let's select our fast and slow turns. Looks like everybody is there. Will you gentlemen go fast or?
I'm going to go slow because I require 2 actions.
Okay.
I'm going to go fast.
All right. Morgan.
I will go fast as well. I do not currently have control over my token though, in the turn selector.
All right, I'll fix that.
Thank you.
I tell you, 3D printed miniatures don't have mold lines, but to get these stupid little bumps.
Yeah. All over the thing, right?
Yeah. I'm hoping this texture doesn't show much after it's painted.
All right, and they go slow because they are shambling.
Mm-hmm.
Are they hard to kill? They're dead. They're all messed
up. All right, fast. Morgan and Gideon.
Go ahead, Morgan. What are you doing?
I'm casting Burning Beam at the lead one. Right. That one.
Okay. The one on the leftmost.
Yeah. I'm harnessing the magic within me to send a beam of sunlight at this guy.
All right.
Okay.
Is it a casting roll for you?
Yeah. It is a will against the target's agility.
Okay. Go ahead. Your target number is 9.
Okay.
That's a hit.
Oh, and I got over 20, which means that secondary effect happens. So target is now blind for 1 round.
Okay.
Only did 1 point of damage, but
you did 1 point of damage.
I think, yeah, because it rolled. I guess it rolled 1d6.
But you got him in the eye.
Yeah, I blasted him right in the face. Yeah, it looks like it rolled a 6. I'm gonna have to double check that it rolled it right because it came up with a weird extra 0 there for no reason. But yeah.
Okay, I put a little yellow tab on him so we know that he's been blinded.
Blinded by the light.
Yes, sir.
By the light.
Wrapped up like a deuce, another runner in the night.
All right.
All right, it's Nils.
Gideon.
Yes. I will. So what does Frighten do? It gives you the person a boon? I guess I should figure out what the benefit of these spells is I've been casting.
I think you should move a little to the left so I can come in and join you and help out.
Yes.
You'll be able to squeeze. You'll be able to squeeze there if you like.
Okay.
But Nils has 1 action now, so he could use it either. Sorry, Gideon has 1 action. He can use it either in a casting or in a moving, an adjustment, a repositioning. And when frightened, it's on your character sheet. All attack rolls and challenge rolls are made with 1 bane.
Okay.
And that's this one back here. I'll put a tab on him. That'll work.
I'm going to, well, I guess I'm not sure. Are we going to try to kill all these guys, or are we going to
Well, I think we
escape.
have. I'd like to escape, but we're gonna have to come back this way.
Right, but they're
That's
going to
my
move
guess. Maybe. So I think we're gonna have to try and waste these guys.
on. Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay. In that case, I will. I will. I will step forward and attack the first one.
You're going to charge into that guy?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
I got a 12 and with a damage of 4.
Okay, you did 4.
So I beat their defense of at least 12.
Their
Almost 12.
defense is 9.
Okay. That's true. They're kind of slow.
All right. Ichabod.
I'm filling my character sheet because I didn't have the spell thing written in, but I am using one action to draw my sword, saying "Flame on."
Okay.
Standing shoulder to shoulder with Gideon to take out the nearest one, and making sure nothing goes anywhere near Morgan.
You can attack this one here if you like.
I will attack that one there.
All right.
With my boon added blade, I now have 4 hours. Flame on! If we're gonna have Jack Kirby references, we might have to go with a lot of early Marvel. All right, using my sword, I should get add the boon now. Oh, I don't think a 9. Oh, 9's enough to hit, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what he said.
All right, so a 9 hit for the 11 damage.
Oh my gosh, you still hit with the 1? That's amazing.
Well, I had a boon and a bonus.
That's a 1 always misses. A 1 always misses.
Well, you're the GM.
Yeah, I have to be.
Yeah, well, it came close.
Yeah. 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 Wow. I mean, you're just sort of fanning your fire branded sword in front of these guys, and like you weren't even trying to hit them.
Yeah, and his damage is on the sword is 1d6 plus 1d6 plus 1.
Wow. Okay. These two guys come up.
That's not good.
How long does this frightening last for?
Ever.
1 minute.
A minute. So for the combat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, it's my turn. They're going to make. They're these two that are face squared off against you, Gideon, and you, Ichabod. They're like reaching out with their arms, trying to grab hold of you.
My advice is don't let them do that.
Don't let them do that.
Stranger danger.
Let's see. Strength. Sorry, I should have been doing this while you guys were working on your character. I mean, while you were doing your attacks, I'm just filling in my attack line on my monster character sheet.
Oh, sorry, Gideon. I tried to hit.
So did I.
You did hit.
Oh, I guess I did. Yeah, I tried and I did hit.
Well, I'll try to quit rolling ones.
Are we going to have a
Alright.
repeat of last week?
Here's
No.
the
Where
here's the
only one
attack-
of us is effective.
here's the attack versus Gideon. That's probably going to be a miss.
My defense is 15.
Yeah. And I rolled a 1 as well. So that's a miss. And then against you, Ichabod. I think that's going to miss also. All right. You're up, gentlemen and lady. Fast or slow?
I think in this situation, fast is my best bet. So wait, I need to move.
Sorry, I did it for you.
Thank
Do it
you
your
very much.
Damn
No.
self.
Well, remember, not to gain this too much, but they're slow. They're going to be slow because they're zombies. And so that means no matter what option we pick, we will always go before them.
Well, you always go before them in any case, unless
Well,
you chose
not if
you
they're
chose slow
fast.
and they chose fast. Yeah, but
Right, exactly.
yes.
So if we go slow, that gives us 2 actions, is what you're saying, and we'll go first.
Yes, but we can't attack twice on it, though. And if we need to have more options for doing other things.
Oh, I have an idea.
All right. Are you set where you gentlemen would like it for round 2?
Yes.
No.
I want to smack something.
Wait a minute. What's over there? Okay. I will.
Morgan should be slow. It'd be good.
Oh yeah, I'm also slow.
All right.
So we can respond and not roll any more ones. I hate to
Right,
throw
or
these-
so you can take that second action. Okay,
I hate to throw
heroes.
these dice away because they're really a nice green.
Give them another chance.
All right, Gideon, what are you going to do? Slay. Slay all before you.
Nils, I think we lost you.
Is he back?
Can you hear me?
We do.
Yay!
That was weird. Okay. Seeing that my compatriot is in a slump like last time, I will cast as my first action a bless spell. You touch each target, being Ichabod, and bestow your blessing for the duration. The target makes all attack rolls and challenge rolls with a boon and cannot be frightened.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
And then I will do a normal attack.
Kick ass.
Okay, sounds good.
There we go. Another 4 point.
All right, whittling away at this guy. Don't forget to reduce your castings.
Yes, I am. Reducing it, not forgetting to reduce it.
All right.
Right. All right, Ichabod.
I need to get a hold of like a nice halberd or something to deal with these guys next time, but I got 2 boons now, baby. Plus my boons. I got 3 boons.
3 boons because of the fire. The fire sword.
Yeah, 22. Okay, hold on a minute. Got to double check something here because I just rolled really well. Quit.
Right, over the 20, beaten by 5. What happens with your warrior abilities?
When the total of your attack is 20 or higher and exceeds the target, the attack deals another d6 damage.
Oh, extra damage. All right.
Yeah, so...
And is this against the fresh one or the wounded one?
The fresh one right in front of me because it attacked me.
Okay.
So that's 9 plus another d6 here. Oh, I like that 6, but we'll take the 3 and not complaints. That's 12 points in one swing, baby. It's Ichabod who gets another action if he rolls high enough.
Right.
Which I love.
Opie,
it's like
Opie
fencing.
Opie
Opie
gets the extra.
Yeah, I like it's like he's a fast fencer. He's so good that he gets to do another thing because he tricked you or something.
Yeah. Bam. Okay.
It's like when parents have too many kids and they start calling them each other's names.
That's it. That's why you stopped at 1. Very wise. Very wise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Morgan, what do you got?
Morgan points at this spot right there and sends a burst of rainbow energy at it to basically do like a color spray from DCC.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So basically, she shoots a small beam at that spot, and then it explodes. And spreads through a 1 yard radius, which should hit those 4 guys.
Yep, I'd say so. What's the effect?
The effect is that each sighted creature, so the blinded one is not actually affected by it, but the other 3 are. In the area must succeed on a perception challenge or become dazed for 1 round.
Okay, they take absolutely no notice of this splash of color. They
All
keep
right.
clawing on, trying to get past the fellows that are.
Okay, so they are. All right, so now we know they're sightless.
Yeah, or they don't rely on sight.
Right. It's good to know.
It is good to know.
And you can see this one in the rear, Gideon, the one that you thought you had scared, that you had held back with your magic, with your incantation. It has a look of ferocity in its eyes now. It is no longer terrified.
That's not good.
The one is blinded.
Well, it got a laser to the face.
It did.
Yeah. All right. Is that all the heroes?
Jeez,
Yes.
I did how many points? I did 12 points
and then
half.
for her second non-combat action, Morgan is looking up to make sure nothing starts dropping down on us.
No, you're about halfway up the ladder, and I've in my mind's eye, I have you just sort of perched there,
Right.
neither ascending nor descending.
Right. She's just making sure that nothing is dropping down on us.
Okay. Here are the beasties, first against Ichabod.
I'm pretty sure we already did the beasties.
What's your, I think your defense is 15.
15. Gideon and I are keeping things simple for you.
We should get a boon against them for making it
And you know what? Keep the boon and keep rolling badly. That's fine.
All right. Okay, new round. Sticking with this turn order, are you happy with it?
Yes, I am.
Yep.
Go ahead and take your actions. 2 actions, gentlemen.
I would try to do a shield rush, but that's an actual skill one trains in, so.
Sorry, I was just testing something. No harm, no foul.
You know what? I need to check something here. Yes, okay, good. It's a handy little character sheet. Well, since we've not heard from our team leader at the moment, do you want to attack first, Gideon, or shall I?
Go ahead.
All right.
Use that boon to good advantage.
Well, I'm swinging 3 of them, which is very helpful, let me tell you. All right. Over 20, over 20! Yes, baby! Another D6 damage.
Nice.
That's taken 10. 11 total, so 23.
So show us what happens when you deliver this killing stroke, this killing of the dead.
It's just a swing down. It's a beautiful cleave. Takes him right there at the neck and shoulder, and takes off part of his upper body, but just then he falls into 2 pieces.
Nice.
And the sword seems to have a slight glow to it.
I thought it was already on fire.
Well, I have fire magic is what I chose as the tradition that I discovered, but it doesn't say. It just says you imbue the target with magical energy, lasts for the duration. So I do assume that since I've discovered fire magic, that it at least looks like heat. And my thought is that as it goes on, if I keep doing well, it just it glows more.
Right. So it's like almost like red hot.
Right, and it builds up. It starts off with like right now sort of a dull glow, but if I continue to be successful, it's going to get brighter and brighter.
Cool. I like it.
Or hot.
Or hot, yeah. That's the plan anyway. We'll see how it works out.
Well, not wanting to drain myself of spell offensivity.
No, I'd say save that if you can.
I'm just going to go ahead and do a straight attack.
Okay.
And I sort it. Pew, pew, pew. There we go.
That hits and does 5 points of damage.
Slow and steady. Hopefully doesn't get you killed.
Okay.
All right. Morgan is going to blast the zombie that Gideon is fighting with her unerring darts spell,
Okay.
which
Is unerring.
Exactly. So it always hits, and
Okay.
she fires 7 darts that each do 1 point of damage.
Oh, 7 darts. So you do 7 points of damage?
Right, and she's going to send all 7 darts at the creature that Gideon's fighting.
Okay.
Her wand of automatic missile fire.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just see her like, ah!
So he's riddled with these darts that come flying from Morgan. Crumples to the floor.
Well shot.
All right.
Yep.
Well, there's 2 more left, and they simply drive on. Roar.
As I would expect.
Roar. Okay.
Ooh.
That grabs Gideon, and you take a D3 points of
6?
damage. Sorry?
You didn't say who that was against.
Against Gideon. I take 2 points of damage, and you're now
Who was that?
grabbed by this thing. And when you're grabbed, cannot move away. Let's see. Depending on size, either cannot move away if grabbed larger or equal, or move, grabbing creature automatically. Automatically hits. I don't know. I'll have to look up grabbing. Grabbed. Okay, you are grabbed. Rawr, put you in the mouth. All right, Ichabod.
Okay, I'm going after the one that just grabbed. Oh, you're grabbing. You're hitting me.
Grab. What's your defense?
15.
Oh, he's pawing at you ineffectually. Okay.
That shield was worth every cent.
It is now a new round. So this thing's like trying to snap at you and bite you now, Gideon, that it has, that has a hold of you. It is a new round. Assuming you're keeping the same turn orders.
I am, because I have a plan for my second action.
All right, go ahead and take it.
I'm going to try to use my shield to...
Oh, Nils' headphones died. Well, it's a good thing you got 3 pairs of them. Why don't you go for it, guys? We'll catch Nils up in a moment.
Okay, my plan is to, one action, use the shield to basically protect myself from the guy on the left, but I want to use my sword against the one attacking Nils. I want to try to free him if I can, like cutting an arm off.
Okay. If you roll...
Okay, can you hear me again?
Yes,
We can hear you now.
Yeah.
Great. So now I've switched to my second Bluetooth headphones. And I'm sorry, how many points of damage did I get in the first attack? I asked that 4 times before I realized that
nobody could hear you.
Okay, got it. Okay.
I thought he was just being really stoic.
Yeah, so you can, but if you roll like 1 to 5, then you'll have to roll an attack against Gideon as well. And as the grabbing continues, that number just keeps going up because they get more and more entangled with one another.
Okay, so repeat one more time. You're going to allow me to try to attack.
So you can attack with 2 Banes.
Okay.
Or like kind of trying to make your strike precise.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can just attack normally with all of your boons. But if you roll a 1 to a 5, you're going to have to make an attack roll against Gideon. Does that make sense?
It does. And I think I would like to take the first one, which is harder. Taking 2 Banes. That means I still have 1 boon, but it's cooler. Okay, it's just I'm trying to cut that arm off,
waiting for just the right time as Gideon leans back and
then try to take it right between the elbow and the shoulder.
Perfect. Let's see if you can hack it. I need to look up grabbing. Grabbed.
Hold on, Gideon.
Oh, crap.
It's 11. I hit.
Yes, you did hit. You did 5 points of damage. All right, Morgan or Gideon.
Go ahead, Morgan.
Gideon, why don't you go?
Okay. I'm going to do another normal. Well, so I'm sorry. I'm grabbed. I can't move away. Is that giving me any boons to my attack?
I'm checking.
Banes, I mean.
And since that was an aimed shot, did it? Well, it just means it doesn't have a chance of hitting him.
Correct. If you had, here we go. Grab.
Gotcha. Because that 3 would have hit Gideon.
This is page 52.
By the way, I assume when you said rolled a 1 to a 5, that meant the base roll didn't matter what the modifying was.
Seems reasonable.
Sorry, I missed the question.
When you said the other option was a regular attack with all my boons, but if I rolled a 1 through 5, that meant the base roll. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yes, right. The base roll, because your boons would kick it over.
Yeah, like it did. So I'm glad I made the choice I did.
On a success, you become grabbed until the end of the next round. You're prevented from using actions.
Oh, okay.
Oh, pardon me. If you are prevented from using actions because you're dazed, stunned, or unconscious.
Or small, but you're not smaller than it is.
Ends. The grabbed affliction also ends if you move or are moved to a position where you can no longer reach the grabbed target. Oh, so the grabber, if they move or move away, then they no longer become grabbed. On excess becomes grabbed until the end of the next round. Okay, so this is how it can now bite you, right, on its attack. But the grabbing only lasts for a round until you kind of break free and then they try to grab you again. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, so it doesn't actually affect my attack, but it gives them the opportunity to either
bite at you. Yeah.
I like that, the zombie chomp.
Right.
Okay, so Here is my normal attack that's going to like blast their head off with a 7 points.
7 points. Okay. And Morgan, do you have any actions?
Morgan is since Ichabod attacked the creature attacking Gideon, is there any way for me to chuck a sling at the zombie that is in front of where Ichabod's character is?
You could do it with 3 Banes and not risk hitting your friends, or you could do it even and risk hitting your friends on a miss.
Okay.
That's because the sling's kind of an awkward weapon, and you're kind of in this awkward position. You could jump down onto the ground and only take 2 boons, or try 2 Banes, but then you'd be on the ground.
Okay.
That's kind of what we're trying to avoid.
Let's see. Okay. We'll go ahead and do that, or we'll take the 3 Banes.
All right.
It's a good time to roll a 20. and roll 1s for your Banes.
Yeah. All right. In this case, it's a flat roll. Gosh. Okay.
I believe in Morgan. I do. She's a feisty kid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to find a Kev White figure to sculpt. A Kev White sculpt to paint. That's it.
Oh no, she just missed.
Yeah, it's a good thing you.
20's right there on the edge though.
It's a good thing you took those Banes, because if you hadn't, you would have hit one of your friends.
Oh yeah.
We're a careful group.
Yep. I finally actually got a figure for Morgan. So.
Oh, cool.
And if she survives, I have a older version of the figure as well.
All right, I think it's my turn.
No, I think we discussed that. You've already had enough turns.
You've had your turn. Zombie. Rutro.
You're hugging Nils. That's enough. I'm hoping I hope I at least distract it.
Well, you're distracting one of them. All right, here's the zombie. It's going to do mighty teeth. And teeth are strength. They do a d6. This one.
Well, shoot.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot one of my new skills that would have been helpful, but oh well.
See, I was doing that all last week.
All right. Uh-oh. Gideon.
Yeah.
Crump.
No biting.
You take 3 points of damage.
Is that all?
And you can feel this this chilling venom being pumped into your system.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
Make a strength challenge roll.
Oh, good. That's one of my good stats. Oh, 8.
You want to use a fortune point?
I would recommend it.
Yeah, I think I will.
So you sort of shrug off the effects of the poison, of the plague, of the ice.
Because like Hammerschmidt, you are strong.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, and now versus Gideon. Oh, this is not teeth. This is something different.
This is just trying to grab me.
The grab. The grab. It's a character sheet. Here's the grabbing.
No grabbing.
No grabbing, please. Well, looks like you're grabbed, and you take 1 point of damage.
God damn it.
Grabber, no grabby. Grabby, no grabber, no grabbing.
But because I am big, I still get actions.
You do. Yeah, you're just tangled up with this guy. I'm going to put this blue tag on you to show you're grabbed.
Blue tack, a little blue tack there. I get it.
All right, a new round. Let's see. Make a check here. Okay. You guys are up, unless you're doing something different with your turn orders.
Oh no.
No.
Okay.
Now,
Go
Nils
ahead.
is no longer grabbed. I am grabbed, right?
Correct, right. The grabbing only lasts for 1 round.
Well, I have to fight the one who's grabbing me.
Yep. All right, get him. Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
It's like an extra D6, right?
That's right. 9, 6. Oh, it's still 11. I'll take the 11.
Not even funny.
Trying to bust his teeth out with my shield so I don't get bit.
Perfect. Gideon, Morgan.
I will take a swing at the one that's attacking me.
Yes!
Oh.
Oh!
Boom.
Now, do you get
You
something
get anything
for rolling
for
over
20s?
20? You got to.
No.
I think everybody's got to get something.
I don't. I've not taken any fighter things, so.
Well, I guess the one Opie gets is for rogue.
Right, but priests and clerics don't apparently. But I do 7 points.
Okay. It's like clinging to
And I
life.
dance on his corpse. So you bring him to life.
You could burn a fortune point, and that would drop him.
No, I don't have any more left.
Oh, interesting.
Can I burn one?
Let's see. Did he roll a boon in his?
I can
No.
just blast him with a spell.
Okay. What? The first encounter, we use up all our resources.
Well, no, I'm intentionally moderating and mediating what I use.
Okay.
So I have a magic dart spell, which is similar to the unerring darts,
Uh-huh.
but it only hits 1 creature, and it does 1d3 plus 1.
Perfect. So you can take down the one in front of Nils.
Right. So I focus a little bit longer this time as I'm pointing at him, and then I blast him.
Okay.
With that amount of damage, I would have taken down the other one because that's the one that's
No.
grabbing Peter.
No, it wouldn't have.
No.
1d3 plus 1.
Yeah, 1d3 plus 1.
Yeah, it's 2 to,
Oh, I'm sorry. I heard something completely different. Never mind.
yeah, 2 to 4. That's like a sling.
Yeah.
All right. I think here's the fight against Ichabod.
No. No, I
No.
knocked his teeth out, remember?
Let's see if you knocked his teeth out.
I specifically said that.
No, he's got 3 teeth left.
No! And they're in front.
There's the front 2 teeth. Okay, you take 4 points. And like Ichabod, you get bit like on the forehead, and you can just feel this brain freeze, icy coldness.
So I have to roll
A strength challenge. So you can just click on the whatever plus you have there, and it'll roll your strength challenge for you. You're looking for a 10. Okay. So you fight off the effects of the...
Can I headbutt him?
Sure. I think, don't you have improvised weapons or something like that?
Oh, I don't think I took that one. No. Let's double check. I'm pretty sure I have forceful strike. No. Combat prowess. We already have that figured in. I can heal. No, so I got my extra boon and my extra damage already figured in. No, I didn't take that skill, or that comes later or something.
Okay, okay.
Oh, I think that was one of the things we were looking at when I finally decided on Spellbinder, because I could have gone fighter and gotten to pick two things, and one of them was Shield Rush, and one of them was improvised weapon, where you always do damage no matter what you got. Yeah,
D6 damage with your bare hands or rock or
exactly. Hit him in the head with a rock. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Stick.
But that's why you remembered that. But I did not go that route. Instead, I went Spellbinder, and I can.
Gotcha. Okay, so the grab goes away.
And I spit some black poison out with the saliva.
And it's the hero's turn. Any changes to your initiative? Go ahead and make your attacks and or actions. Let's start with Ichabod.
Did a total of 10 points.
Drops him. All right.
Just split him. Just whack.
So looking down at the...
I don't like those things.
Looking down at the corpses, you can see at least one of them is dressed sort of in brown cloaks, garb. The other three are clearly townsfolk.
So the brown cloak are some of the militia who were sent in to investigate and didn't come out.
The brown cloaks are sort of like the police.
Okay.
And the militia are kind of like the army in the field, as it were. If you could call them that. I mean, they're pretty poorly equipped.
So the brown cloak is part of the group that they sent some people in and they didn't hear from.
They sent in the Inquisitor, and he had his own men with him. They weren't brown cloaks, and they weren't militiamen. They were the Inquisitor's own men, chosen men.
Brown cloak have any keys or anything about his rotting corpse?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have anything on him. Yeah, none of these folk do.
Just checking.
Sure. All right, Morgan's like halfway up the ladder. You guys are standing at the bottom there of the.
But we know we're on the purse side of the wall here.
You do know you're on the purse side of the wall. Yeah.
I personally would rather deal with these things out in the open where we can run and hide.
Okay.
What do you guys think? I'd rather not be in the sewer.
Yes.
So did we choose which house it is on the map that you guys are headed for?
No, but I had pointed out that number 19 here.
Yes, that's exactly the house. That used to be the Furt household.
That's it.
You know, but now it's kind of a charred ruin. They're at the highest point of the peninsula. They're looking down across the city.
So my thought is,
and this is the area that you all came up out of.
Where are we coming up? Ooh.
Here. Oops.
We did really well. I thought maybe we were just inside the wall. Well, I think we should skirt this area along here to avoid running into undead minions.
Okay.
Yeah, I hate those little yellow guys.
Yeah, it's quiet. It's late afternoon.
It's too quiet.
And you can see the ruins of the house standing on top the highest hill here on the peninsula of the Perth district. Once it was one of the most striking homes here, but now it's largely destroyed. The top floor collapsing and filling the main floor with rubble. But you can see like a rough path that's been like torn away back towards what you assume might be a cellar door.
When you say rough path, something since the explosion, like debris been moved out of the way.
Yeah, like rescuers had tried to dig their way through the rubble.
Gotcha.
Sounds like we need to follow that.
Yeah, because it worked out so well for the rescuers. I agree with you, though. We do need to go there.
I hate those little mice.
Oh, RESCUE, Rescue Aid Society.
Oh, let's see here. Notes.
I just realized that the purse section here that's been quarantined, the old Wizard's Tower is in there.
Yes, it is the Leaning Tower. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's down here at the bottom.
And I mean, it is at the bottom, but I mean, bad things happen in abandoned Wizard's Towers.
That's why we're not going anywhere near it. Besides, I was just listening to the Conan story about climbing into a wizard's tower, and it just didn't work out well for some of the thieves.
Mm-hmm.
Good old Conan.
Okay, let's see. Sorry, just skimming my notes.
I gotta be honest. I really like this. Cause a lot of damage when you hit things. I'm not used to
Satisfying.
it. Neither Gerda nor Hammy did that.
Right.
Well, that's the thing, is you kind of have to readjust your calibration. You're effectively leveling up so fast. And especially in this game, it seems like there's a lot of combos. Like you get this spell, which then gives you a boon. You get this spell, which then does something else.
Right.
Or this ability.
Here's silverware and plates. It makes me hungry.
I think Lucas is unloading the dishwasher.
I still want cake. I think it's because I don't have any in the house.
Might be why.
We only want things we don't have. Ooh, wait, I have a close approximation. I'll be right back.
Right.
I'm back.
Okay, so you can see this ruin of what was obviously a large and substantial house perched on the highest bit of the hill. There's sort of a bit of a pathway cleared through the rubble down towards what looks like an entry to a cellar, and it's mid-afternoon.
We should definitely go down the dark, dangerous cellar.
Okay.
Are there any other? I mean, there's the front door, I would assume.
So that it's pretty much a ruin. It's largely rubble.
Okay.
The house, it's like it got hit by an airstrike.
Oh, that's right. There was an explosion there. Okay, yeah. Let's do the cellar.
Okay. going to bring you back over to this map.
Before we actually enter the cellar, Morgan's going to use her magic acorn spell to pick up some like seeds or whatnot around the ground and imbue them with some magic for later.
Okay. Okay.
You want me to roll to see how many I find?
Yes, please.
Okay. I can find up to 5, so I'll roll a d5. Found 1.
Okay. You find
It's an exploded building.
You find the one treasure that you were seeking out, and you hold it up to find a fine almond seed, olive seed, and you look down the hill, and you can see half a dozen of those dead men climbing up towards the hill towards you all. But they're far. But they have smelled you out.
I think we go down the cellar.
Yep.
You guys are headed for the cellar. So you're descending into the cellar, and you start to hear shouts and cries.
From ourselves?
Reagan,
or
stand back! Mind the light! Ah! Damn you beasts! Stand about me! Closer!
Yeah, let's try to move quickly to the shouting. Just seems to be a group that we need to join forces with and make a stand with.
Yeah, because they don't just go, they might be on our side.
Exactly.
What?
You can't. So descending down towards the, you're making your way through the rubble, and you can hear the shouting, and then you can see this sort of open pit with some stone stairs leading down into the darkness, and that's where you hear the shouting coming from. And you can see 4 men standing on an open landing at the base of these stairs, and some swirling shadows, like swirling below them and above them. And the men are armed. They wear a mail, carry swords and shields. The leader, the tallest of them, has a broad tabard, with the sacred, what's it, old god, the three-fingered old god, emblazoned. No, that was a new god. But that's what this guy is. He's a new god inquisitor. That's why they don't really like him, and they sent him in here in the first place. And he's holding before him a box, and you can see like opens it up, and light shines out from it, and the shadows creep back. So let me just quickly sketch this for you, review some notes, and then we can move to the encounter.
The Temple of the Holy Finger, or the Missing Finger, the Holy Finger, something like that.
The middle finger.
Middle finger, of course.
All right.
So now I really have to worry, because even though Grace has now gotten her own set of headphones again, she asked me to turn her Wi-Fi back on. And I said, no, it's 9 o'clock, time to turn it off. And so now I'm worried about what the next thing she's going to bring me. It's going to explode on me.
Here, Father, I brought you this snack.
Says the man who's raising 3 of them so far. But only 2 daughters.
Only 2 daughters.
And you survived to get them out of the house. That's a praiseworthy
feat of itself.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Chris Rock says a father of daughters has only one job.
I used that one time when Erica smacked me.
Which was?
Keep her off the stripper pole. And Nils is doing a wonderful job, from what I can tell.
Yeah, Erica thought it was inappropriate for some reason.
Huh.
I can't imagine.
Can't imagine why.
Of course, I was talking to my cousin, who's like fundamental Christian kind of person. So
Well, then maybe
So
that
you
was
were just trying to upset them, and I fully applaud your actions.
all right. For the, let's see, I need some tokens to represent the other stuff that's going on here. Tokens,
So when you
tokens.
when you say shadows, are they like shadows of the zombies or shadows of like ghosts?
Yeah, they look almost ghostly. They
Okay,
do look
so not-
ghostly. Don't almost look ghostly. They do look ghostly.
Okay.
This is bad. This is really bad.
This is something like one of our late DCC adventures. Wasn't there shadows that we were in the gates of Gan or something like that?
Oh yeah, there was all kinds of horrible things in the gates again, though.
Yep, I remember that.
That was our longest single. That was our longest single exploration,
It was pretty awesome.
It was a lot of
Oh
fun.
yeah, absolutely.
and we never got to the second level. That's what's amazing.
No, we did. We never got to the third level,
Oh, you're right. Sorry, yeah.
where Rydian's weapon was stored.
Exactly.
I think his weapon was on the 4th level, which we didn't even hear about.
Probably.
It's all we need is Rydian with the monkey weapon of doom.
We use these as the shadows.
No, the box made them all go away. Remember, you just said that.
It's like holding them at bay.
I don't want
Go ahead and place yourselves on or near the stairwell while I set the rest of the scene.
So I'm concerned if, assuming these are the witch hunter people, and I have a feeling they're much higher skill ability than we are, how the heck are we going to do anything to benefit them?
Well, they're not really.
They're different skilled.
Yeah, they're more I'd
Good
say
point.
specialized,
Yeah.
specific.
hmm
I got a magic sword.
Okay, there we go. It's kind of
No.
like this.
Though I could also make my bow magic if I prefer to do that. Let's be honest.
And you can see a few corpses of these of the at least one corpse of one of the Inquisitor's men, crumpled near his feet, sort of clutching his throat.
So we'll keep an eye on him.
That guy's getting up.
I had the exact same thought.
All right, let's take a look at the stat block for these guys.
Chop his head off now.
You and I've each survived a bite.
Wrong book.
Mhm.
Wrong hat. Nothing up sleep. Presto. No doubt about
So
it.
Peter,
Yeah.
my robot is so far a dark red color with copper plating,
Mm-hmm.
and I need a accent color for like the highlight parts.
Oh, I'd go with something with a green base.
I don't want him to make him look like a Christmas robot.
No. Oh God. Bright red and bright green are the only thing that makes things Christmas. And I guess green base can be anything. Could be a blue green. Could be, especially since you've got copper there. It even plays with the whole oxidized look. But it could also be a more leaf green, more yellow green. It could even be, browns with greens in it or whatever. But I lean towards something with a green or blue if we're going to accent. Red and copper is a warm metal, so definitely go with a blue green.
Because it's cooler.
Yeah, and it gives you the opposite both in color and on the color wheel.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And just like if you had something that's primarily red, I mean, primarily greens, and you want to accent in red, it could be a red orange even. You know, it doesn't have to be a bright red. It could be a red brown.
I'm also wondering about the brightness of the color, because they both, the copper and the red are both relatively dark, and it's on a brown base. So I'm thinking I need to have much lighter color to kind of.
Oh yeah, they go with more of a yellow greens or a leaf green. You know.
I'm looking at the necrotic flesh.
Let's see.
It's a little pale. It's a little pale.
I lean towards the Citadel, like a Strachan green or a Gretchen green, kind of.
Okay, I'll take a look at those.
Or a Lycian green, I guess, is another one of the yellow greens, without being a really bright yellow green.
Just getting you a handout.
We need a hand up, not a handout.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. I'm on break. I can't help it.
Yeah, you don't have the outlet of your class being required to listen to your jokes.
That's it. That's it.
I'm alive. My internet crashed.
You're still
Welcome
on.
home.
All right, this is what you can see swirling around in the shadows.
Ooh, scary.
Oh.
Those are bad things.
On the east wall,
I don't like that.
on the east wall, you can see another stairway that's leading into the darkness. And
well, it sounds like they are not able to affect them directly, or otherwise they would be maybe trying to fight them. And we certainly don't have any magic spells or anything, or magic weapons that I don't. I mean, obviously, somebody here does, maybe.
I mean, I can make my weapon magical, as
Mine,
can
Right.
Yeah.
Ichabod.
Mine is currently magic.
True. I can bless. I can. Let's see here.
No, Aaron, while he's looking at that, it doesn't really go into this, and it doesn't really say you need to concentrate, but it makes sense to me that once I've put this on my weapon and it lasts 4 hours, I can't just charge up a bunch of weapons with this. I assume that once I've put it on my weapon, it's kind of like
hand them around.
yeah, it's like I can't just do like 5 weapons and they'll all last for 4 hours.
It's a level 0 spell. You can cast it twice. You could cast it on another weapon.
Oh, I could. Okay.
But if you do, and the adventure goes for more than 4 hours, and the day hasn't ended.
Right. Well, it's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, we're getting to we're coming up on time. We'll probably carry this adventure over into another session.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So you can see that Rodolfo, is like crouched among his men. He's trying to tend to his fallen companion. You can see that the fallen man's skin is all stretched and dried and withered, and the shadows start swirling closer, and he leaps and he like opens up the box, and like this burst of sunlight shoots forth, but the creature's seen this before, and it sort of backs away as he starts to make that action with the box, and the men try to move, and then the shadows swirl around, and it's this weird stalemate almost here in the cellar, where the men are trapped in the darkness. They can't move forward and they can't move back, and the only thing that's holding these creatures of the night at bay is this little box of sunlight that Rodolfo.
Well, maybe it's a good thing I can create sunlight.
Exactly.
I was just going to say
that. So, yeah.
So let's go ahead and do some some actions here. You guys are at the kind of at the top of the stairs, and you're starting to see this scene taking shape.
Looks like I can't move my token.
I'll fix it. Which token is that?
A leaf.
It's
The
fine.
one over here by the stairs.
Yeah.
It's being controlled by Gideon for some reason.
Aha! Thank you.
There you go.
Well, the lady jumped up out of bed.
Yeah, he was going, and then he started to get.
So who else there, Ethan?
Let's see, his mom, his dad. I can hear them both. And his grandmother. And
my
Toby,
sister.
I think it's Toby. Oh, your sister's awfully quiet. She doesn't.
Right, she's reading.
Okay. I don't know if it'd be any more. Cousins.
No, the cousins were over earlier today.
Oh, okay.
It's been very peaceful here in the Gross household.
I'm sending you a picture to you, Peter.
See, via email?
No, via text.
Oh. Let's see. I just got a text from Nils.
Just stand and open it.
Oh, that is so cool. Is that your clockwork?
Oh, that's a good idea, but no, I hadn't thought about that. No, this is just the guy that I'm writing, painting.
He looks great. I love the red. Yeah, you could even go with a blue-green and give a hint of oxidation for like all the coils.
Actually, I was planning on using like a dark gray, and then then painting it with a gloss after I do it to make it kind of look like the oily rubber. For the coils, for the arm, stretchy arm parts.
You're going to be careful with the black trim though around the base. You're going to talk about doing that in a highlight color. I mean,
Yeah.
Looks great.
Okay. Sorry to sidetrack.
No problem.
Section.
Okay. So I think, as we had said, you guys are coming up on the stairwell that's leading down into the cellar. You can see this stalemate, this Mexican standoff, this shadow standoff here in the cellar. What
Here
will
we
you
come
do?
we're going to save the day. That's what we're going to do.
How will you do it, Ichabod?
Point at Morgan.
We're gonna save the world tonight.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking we should call these guys to us, and as these shadows come towards me, smack it with my magic sword.
Okay, why don't you go ahead and move out onto your initiative?
I gotta shrink my screen here. Hold on.
Sure.
I'm gonna move slow.
And so
Yeah, I'm going slow.
We're a cautious group. Can we call out to Ronaldo? I take it he hasn't seen us. The guys are really kind of distracted.
nobody's seen you. It's kind of that trick of the line of sight where you're above them looking down into the space.
And even the shadows haven't seen us yet.
Right. Nobody's seen nothing.
Maybe
well, the shadow knows.
Right,
It
but
always knows.
but only the evil that lurks in our hearts, and I'm pretty open about that. So, but I'm thinking we could blast this shadow that's right here near us, or whatever's descending on them, because I don't know what Morgan can do or what you can do. I just know that I have a sword. So if it comes towards us, I'm hitting it.
Yeah, I have a myriad of offensive and utility light spells.
Okay.
Okay, do you want to try casting one of those, Morgan?
Yeah, I'm going to cast light to try and give us a barrier against the shadows, because that seems to be effective.
Okay, and what does the light do? Does it create a radius or something?
Yeah,
or?
it creates a, let me double check, but I believe it's a 5-yard radius.
Okay.
And basically, I can I cast light onto an inanimate object. Yeah, one object I can reach, and it shines in a 5-yard radius for 1 hour. So I.
Does it just say normal light, or what kind of light does it, or is it clear about that?
It is not specific, but the tradition that it's from, Celestial, says, I call on the light and energy of the sun and the stars to drive back the darkness spreading across the world.
Perfect. So I like it. That's helpful.
Yeah.
Yep. So she slams her staff into the ground, and you just see that like true sunlight just begins emanating from like the center and heart of her staff.
Okay.
Oh, that hurt.
And what's your point? What point are you placing on? It goes for 5 yards, you say?
Yeah.
Just give me a point on the map and I'll draw it out.
So what it does is it actually stays imbued inside my staff.
Oh, so you're casting it on your staff, and
Yep.
it's 5 yards around you. Okay.
Yep, because it has to be within one object that I can reach. So.
Okay.
She's the center of some sunlight.
Very nice. And I'm trying to stay between my friends and certainly this shadow thing that's nearby.
So are you coming down the stairs then?
Yes, I'm also coming down the stairs with my other part of my slow action.
We're kind of doing this thing to try and freak these things out. And Nils has some great plan that he's not sharing yet, but I know it's going to be wonderful and save our butts, right, Nils?
No, I'm just kidding.
And Morgan, as Morgan's coming down, she's just continuing her incantation, just like chanting under her breath. Very Lord of the Rings and Galadriel like.
Oh, what a goose I am.
Okay. Ichabod, you race down to the bottom base of the stairs. Are you saying anything? Are you engaging these fellows, or are you just like moving stoically into this?
Are we trying to get
shadow?
these things attention yet, or are we moving sneaky, guys?
I mean,
I think the light's certainly getting some attention here.
That's a good point. Hard to be sneaky with the sunlight going off.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to help. What's the guy's name? Ronaldo?
Rodolfo.
Is this thing nearby affected by the sunlight at all, or is it moving towards
it like
us?
shrivels away, and it's like, ah! But it hasn't had a chance to move yet, right? You guys are
right.
Right. Can I come give it a smack while it's shriveling?
Sure.
Okay, that's what I want to do.
Okay. Go ahead and make your.
Give him a smack. Give him a smack.
Use that magic weapon.
I'm taking advantage of the wording, and the spell says that you've created a magic weapon. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have a bane.
You should take advantage of it.
It's a 13.
Oh, it's a miss. Do you want to use a fortune point to convert one of your boons into a 6? That'll. You need a defense. Hit a defense of 14.
Yes, I will do that. I am using it. Yes. Those are terrible.
Oh, well, that's pretty. You did bad damage rolls too. I mean, you rolled 3 1s.
Yeah.
Or you rolled 2 1s. Do you want to just forego that as a miss, or do you want to use another fortune point and convert one of those into a 6?
No, I don't want to use another fortune point.
Okay. All right. So you just come. You come. Charging down the stairs, brandishing your sword before you.
And it may not only do a little damage, but I figure between the sunlight and the damage from the sword, it might scare or stun these things long enough that these guys can get out or get to us or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Do remember we have 6 undead climbing up behind us.
Well, they're a ways back. They're not like minutes away. Besides, we assume that they're all over this part of the city anyway, right?
That's true. I mean, if we can get Rodolfo and his companions back at least into the sewers, we give some time to figure out what's going on, right?
You can at least get out of this section. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Gideon,
Yes.
do you have anything for me?
Yeah, I'm going to cast my censure spell again.
This
Which
is the one that causes fright.
Yeah, 5 yards. And this time I'm going to remember my benefit of my new class,
Which
is called Conviction. I'm sorry, Faith. I have my holy symbol, which for the new order is the Ouroboros, the snake eating itself circle. And I hold that forward as I call on the censure spell. Attack spells, which is one, get 1 boon when I cast them, if I need to have a casting, and everyone gets 1 bane when they resist them.
Okay,
Nice.
so
So
your castings have a boon, and the resistance against such castings gets a bane. Is that right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's new god stuff, and this is a new god inquisitor we're trying to bail out here, so
Right. And
he'll go, "Hey, you're friendly guys. Let's hang out, dudes." Maybe not, but
we can help.
Here in the heart of Logan Square. Okay, cool. It is a duplex. Okay. It's $669,000. Very happy there.
I like the design. I like that the one with black. But a little up here and very new looking.
You still with us, Nils?
Yeah. So I don't.
Sorry. It's just will checks for me, right? It's not.
Yeah. There's nothing I need to test on.
Okay, sorry. And I do it with the bane.
Yeah, 1 bane.
you're welcome to have several if you want. You know, you're the GM. You can make that call.
So my will is this. And I take it with a bane, I believe, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Which is a -1. -1.
I like the big Ouroboros sitting there floating in front of us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's also the symbol that was on the side of the box that they found Lister's infant form in.
Okay, I pass the first one. It's a challenge, right? It's just a challenge roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not. You're supposed to fail, Aaron. Please read the memos.
Yeah. Will challenge roll.
The second one fails. So let's randomize it. Low order is the one nearest to you. High order is the one furthest. The one furthest fears you, Gideon.
We're kind of badass.
My token. It is here. And that means it makes its attack rolls with the bane, correct?
Yes.
Right.
That's what you told me.
Yep. But I believe it says too on your character sheet, if you mouse over the afflictions, you can see a pop-up beneath the pentagram of your character sheet.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I didn't notice that list. Okay, got it.
And it doesn't allow them to take fast turns.
Oh, even better.
Okay.
Very helpful.
So I get my own. Ah!
Yes.
Defender of the new gods.
Okay. Was that all of you? And what do you shout? You shout down to Rodolfo and his men, "You're here to help," etc., etc.
Where to help? We want to get you out of here.
So Rodolfo booms out, "Stand fast, do not move." And like two of the guys look at each other. See, these are will checks.
We'll check to run the fully equipped party who just unleashed 2 massive spells.
We're here to help, so we can come down to them. Maybe there's something going on we don't know about.
Yeah, like this guy's too prideful to accept help.
No, maybe they got a spell going off, or maybe there's some kind of thing they're trying to guard from these things. They can't leave yet.
Sorry, I'm just looking for a stat block. I'm not finding it.
That means
Out of
they're probably.
curiosity, does Gideon have any healing magic?
Kind of.
Okay.
Do you need
He
it?
contribute.
No, I'm just curious because I know that clerics have the ability to go down the life magic tradition, and I just wasn't sure if Gideon had picked up any.
Oh no, it's all the Thurgies, which is actually there is a little bit of healing, but it's basically all banishment and protection and the whole get rid of the undead thing.
Okay.
I like that. I like that, especially right now.
But his one spell is one ability is a shared recovery, where he and one other person he can touch gets half their recovery rate back.
Okay. I'm just wondering before I decide whether or not I should invest in some healing magic for the group.
I think it's probably a good investment. Each character seems to have an ability to get at least half their healing rate back once.
Right.
Mhm.
But that's like 2 points for most people.
Right. And like if I go into the life tree, then I can pick up things like minor healing, which allows me to heal someone for up to half their healing rate.
Is this Morgan you're talking about?
Yeah.
Well, it certainly fits your character background.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that. Well, and I'm not saying it because I want us to have a healer, but the whole life magic and all of that
Mm-hmm.
just seems to make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the two, one of the men at arms just makes a run for it, and the shadow swirls up from behind them, and just envelops him.
Kind of like the German doctor in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's a new round. Let's see. Oh, this one's going to take some damage here. And they have some health. Son of a bitch. See if I can put a bookmark on this page because I'm going to need it. I guess I'll just write it down. Page 260.
Quick, everybody look at page 260.
Quick.
He knows he won't because we're painting. We're like, I'm not gonna look it up.
That sounds like a hassle.
Yeah, but you know what we're all going to be doing tomorrow during lunch?
Looking it up.
Okay. All right, it's a new turn. This guy takes some damage. Took 5.
I guess we need to move closer to help these guys out, huh?
So I guess he wasn't yelling at us to stand fast.
No.
I assumed he was. Like,
I did
screwing
too.
us up.
All right, go ahead and make your selections. Slow or fast?
I'm staying at slow.
Yeah, I think I will too, just to be able to react.
Right. I'm going to go with slow as well because I need to be ready to blast some of these guys.
Okay. The shadows are moving fast. This one like slips away into the inky blackness. Ichabod, you can strike, you can lash out of it before it disappears into the black beyond the light, the radius of the
I will
light
do
spell
so.
of Morgan.
I will do so.
Remember, the frightened shadow can't do fast.
Okay. It will do slow.
Yeah. Is that a 1?
Yeah,
Yeah.
looks like another one. Oh gosh.
Yeah. So it's a miss.
Drat. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so from the corpse of the man at arms that was struck down, that was enveloped by the shadow, you see another shadow rising from his gaping mouth.
Now that's not cricket.
And it sort of swirls back here into the darkness. This other one's there because it's frightened and it has to move in the slow phase. All right. And this guy moves back over to here. Okay, your turn, heroes.
Well, I want to move in closer to help.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you're in the darkness.
Oh no, I want to be
Stepping into the shadows. That's all right.
No,
perhaps
no.
Perhaps your friends will step up and support you. I don't know.
Yeah, Morgan begins moving down
Okay.
I don't know.
to make sure her light is just enough to get the guy out here.
Okay. Yeah. You're sort of enveloping all of the Inquisitor and his henchmen. The light spell. A couple of the shadows are like cringing away from it, trying to get away from the burning sunlight that is your celestial fire. Gideon, what are you doing? That was one action for you guys to move up to these guys. Do you want to converse with them or do something else with your second action?
Yeah, I mean, Morgan, you go ahead.
You talk. I'm within swinging range of this one, right?
You could move to be within swinging range of it, sure.
Yeah, I'd like to do that just to, again, try and keep these things at bay and maybe do some damage.
Okay. Okay.
I look at Rudolfo and say, "Come, follow us. We must leave
Oh, it's
here."
a fucking 12. Well, I still hit. Well, it's a 10, but a 10 hit?
Defense 14.
Okay. So, they're slippery devils. Sorry.
They are.
I rolled a 12. I saw it. The damn die bumped it. Go ahead, Morgan. I'm done ranting.
I look at Rudolfo and say, "Come, follow us. We must leave this place. I can only hold back the shadows for so long."
He says, "Sorceress, you have come at a dark and foreboding time." And he snaps open the box. Let's see, which one does he shine it at? Clockwise. This one drives it back a little bit further into the night. I think we lost Nils. His internet. Grace must have shut off the internet.
I had that happen earlier.
Could be Bluetooth. I don't have Bluetooth. I have a plugin, which I think is a little easier to deal with.
Your light may keep these creatures at bay, but I have no faith if we move, we may be overwhelmed as Alphonse was as well. And he gestures down at the corpses at his feet. And poor Tobias.
But if we stay within the light, we should be able to get out of this building.
If you stay with, yeah, exactly. If you stay within my starlight, you'll be safe and allow us, and then we can flee.
Okay, make a.
We're hoping.
Let's
Our
see if you
assumption.
can. Let's see if you can convince this guy because he's sort of last standing it here in the cellar.
Right. He's kind of accepted that he's gonna go down.
Well, he
Kind
feels like. So what's happening is that when one of his men falls, a new shadow gets created. And the box that he has has only been able to kind of keep them at bay, kind of, sort of.
Okay, and he hasn't really seen the effects.
They're sort of like picking at him and drawing them down. And you look at Rodolfo and you can see that he looks like an aged man. There's a streak of white in his hair. The skin's sagging and hanging around his chin. And you look around at all his other men, and they look like old
Haggard.
men. Not haggard,
Yeah.
like old. Like
almost like the life force has been drained of them.
Right, like grandfathers that shouldn't be here.
Sort of like the wraith feeding from Stargate.
Mm-hmm.
The knowledge that man was not meant to know.
Right.
So, yeah. So you wanted me to do a will check against him?
Hang on, I was just going to look at the character sheet and see what's right.
Or it's like, I'm trying to impose my will to get him to flee over his own.
Sure. Why don't you make a will attack?
Okay. Yeah.
His will is... Let me see if there's a stat line for him.
They don't have much property anymore.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm a big fan of the staircase right in front of the house, but other than that, I love the stairs.
Yeah, his will is 15, so you're trying to hit a 15.
Okay.
Mm.
No. Okay, so and then we'll just we'll fade to black here as you're like,
Yeah, actually, if you
to
want,
get him to follow you out of here, and he's like, hell no.
Could I burn a fortune point to at least get him to?
Oh, you could burn a fortune point to convert to bend him to your will. Sure.
I'll spend a fortune point to do that. So we'll fade to black as he turns and begins to walk.
So we'll fade to black as you guys kind of climb up out of the cellar. And he said, thank you, sorceress. You've come at a most fortuitous time. We may have never left that devil's lair.
No answers till next week, huh?
Right. And then that's sort of, and Morgan looks up at Ichabod looking down at her. All right. Fun session. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Let's do the hits and misses, and then I guess we'll wrap it up for the night. I feel bad that Nils
lost Nils.
Yeah.
How about Morgan, the star child of the episode?
Yeah, no, it was just great seeing how her spells and everything. She's actually really getting to shine.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Both figuratively and literally. But just seeing how each of her spells is unique and has different ways to interact with the world.
See, Nils is back. Let's give him the link.
Yeah, did the sharing disappear too?
Yeah, we just dropped the share when Nils dropped the session, but we'll get him back online here.
And my only miss would be the internet connection issues we had tonight.
Oh, Nils's internet. And I was like, oh, you seemed pretty good. So.
Mine actually completely cut out for like 5-10 minutes.
Oh, you had to go reboot the router or something?
Yep, pretty much.
Okay. How about for you, Peter? Hits or misses?
No major misses other than I had some crappy rolling, but major hit for me is I'm starting to feel like I have an understanding of the system more and more. And I'm
Right.
remembering more on my character sheet and not forgetting important things like, oh, I got a boon every roll I forgot about.
Yeah, that's super helpful. Super helpful. It's super helpful to see. I think the big hit for me was watching your guys' kind of heroic play. Right. I thought we did a little bit better at getting started and moved into the action tonight. Still not down to that 3-hour target for the adventures, but they're like, I mean, even the 2 or 3 pages, whatever. Let's see how many pages this one is. It's just a couple of pages, like 2 or 3 pages. A couple of combats that can really spend things. But I think they're
role-playing and convincing.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of important to show the tension and the stress of the environment, right?
I was going to say
especially
that
when you're dealing with new things.
Yeah, I have no issue with going for multiple sessions.
No, I think 2 sessions for one of these is great.
Yeah.
But I was going to say it did feel tense the entire time. It did feel very oppressive.
Oh, good. I mean, that's the kind of the tone that I'm striving for.
Right.
Yes, and I think it's also interesting to see you guys sort of using the resources that you do have, right? But they're limited. Only so many castings, only so many fortune points. For example, like Gideon's out of fortune points now.
And I also like how we're trying to think out of the box. It's like, well, I got this. I can light things on fire from just thinking about it. So what do I have that can burn? Well, let's carry, 4 flasks of oil. That's something that might come in handy. So trying to think of other ways to use these things we have.
Right. And I think that's the hallmark of a real adventurer, right? Not just somebody that's kind of going through the motions, is sort of looking at, thinking outside the box a little bit, but using what's at hand and.
Right, and like I could blast these shadows with my offensive burning and light spells, but that would just be a large waste when I can just use a simple light spell and just keep them at bay, right?
Right.
And it fits the character. You're a little girl, so while you may have that power, I can also see the first thing to do. Yeah, your first reaction is to let's light this place up. It's more about safety than it is about killing, and that just that's the other reason I think healing suits her as a character.
Yeah.
She's let me help you. I can just see Morgan being very much like that.
Right, and and that's where I think it's cool combining something like the sorcery with life magic. Is she has so much power that it can manifest in destructive ways, but she tries to compensate by healing people and using that extra magic.
Hey, Nils, I'm glad you were able to join us back. Do you guys want to give Nils the recap of how you made your escape from the cellar here?
Yeah, we pressed in using the light to surround Ronaldo and his men. And then Morgan convinced him that it would be best for him. And he was kind of crazy. They're all kind of in last stand mode. They're like the Space Marines on the cover of the first Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader book. They're back to back, ready to die. And Morgan had actually had to use a fortune point, but convinced him that it was best to come out with us and to stay within the light of her staff.
Right. I bent him to my will for a little bit.
That's it. And so we exited the building, where we'd come in through the cellar. And that's where it all kind of, basically turned and said, thank you. We would have died there. It was pretty much over. And that's where it stopped.
And then you can see that all of them look like old men.
That's
like
right.
Old, withered men.
Aged beyond their years.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
So we were doing hits and misses. I don't know when you caught up on that, but any for you tonight, hits or misses?
I think being able to use effectively use my abilities. That was obviously a hit. The miss was I realized I was doing spells wrong, and last session I shouldn't have had that God Hammer. And so that's why I kind of it's self-imposed penance. I didn't actually take this fortune point for that character because I kind of used that as since I accidentally used spells.
Why was that? You just didn't. It wasn't one. It was one that you couldn't select or something because it was
right. I was thinking that I was getting a power point every level, which would have given me 2 power points at second level, but I don't. I get one. I got one first level, and now I got one third level. So,
you only get them occasionally when it tells you to add get a PowerPoint.
Right, and so the spell
at best.
And that spell was a second level spell that I wouldn't have been able to cast at that point on based on my power level. One thing I didn't see though was it did.
You also have to learn the spell, right?
Right. Yeah. Which I had. I mean, I had the slots for learning it. I just didn't have the power to cast it. But the other thing I haven't read it closely, but I haven't necessarily seen where it said you can only learn spells within the level of your power cast ability.
Oh yeah, that's kind of hidden in there.
Okay.
And the power level is a little tiny number off the
page 110 or something, right?
Yeah, 110 or 111.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's 111.
So that then means I have to go back and look at my spells a bit more and kind of maybe move them around a bit because I have 4 spells right now, but 2 of them are spells that I shouldn't have had last game. So I'll probably end up.
You choose when you discover a new spell. When your path instructs you to choose one spell from a tradition you have discovered and whose rank is equal to or lower than your power.
Right.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. Other than that, it's and then obviously dropping. I think since I haven't used Bluetooth enabled equipment before with my laptop, I'm wondering if that it caused an extra draw on my laptop, and that's why it died much sooner than it normally did. So
it should.
I don't usually have my laptop.
Yeah, it should be pretty innocuous, but I don't know. I mean,
since I take my laptop down to my painting room, I don't have a cable down, a power cable down there, so I usually just run off the battery while we play.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Anyway.
Well, fun times, guys. That was great. I think we'll tackle the second chapter of this adventure next week and see if we can't.
I love the idea of this little girl Morgan running around with these 2 heavily armored big guys,
right? Leaning on this staff and slinging magic and stuff. I see her like in white robes. Cool.
All right. Thanks.
All right, guys. Fun. I'll catch up with you later. Have a great weekend. Bye.
All right, guys. Good night.